Don't open up with me so horny, man.
Eric, what's wrong with opening up with me so horny? What's wrong with that, man?
You can open with like, "Hey, we want some pussy" or something like that.
Oh, you know what? You just said that we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to podcast number 53. Or I'm sorry, I can't even talk now because what you just said, Eric. Welcome to podcast number 54 of the Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. And we're back after a 2-week hiatus. I hope everyone missed us. We missed all of you guys as well. Hope everyone had a great holiday. And we're back now, and we're going to talk some fucking video games. We have a lot to talk about, actually, because there's a lot of news coming out. We had some big announcements regarding cancellations of a canceled game, a big game. I think that a lot of people are looking forward to, and we have some Nintendo Switch news. But other than that, we got our panel back here. We're actually missing John. John's actually doing a computer update. I feel like his computer's always fucking updating every time we're getting ready to podcast. So he'll be joining us shortly. But we do have a special guest with us tonight. We have Anchorman from the Inner Circle Podcast joining us again. Anchor, what's up, man?
Hey, am I really that special, though?
Come on, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're special, man.
You are special, man. We got love for you.
All right.
Yeah, we actually may be having another special guest from Tick joining us. So it might be a Tick invasion tonight.
Tick takeover, man. We in the building.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
That's good company to be in, though, man.
It is good company. Yeah. It is good company. Damn, we have one viewer right now. See, this is what happens when you're away for 2 weeks. 2 viewers. Look at that.
You were late by 1 minute. They couldn't stand it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is what happens when you have, like I said, you're away for 2 weeks. But I think maybe people forget about you.
Oh, three.
Oh, 3. Look at that. Eric, keep talking, man. We get more viewers as you talk.
Sitting here sipping on this silk almond milk.
What are you sipping on?
Silk almond milk.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Oh. I couldn't stand that.
Oh, you drinking almond milk?
No, I'm joking,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I'm joking, man.
I didn't know what that was.
Because we always talk about like DJ Khaled. He does like these commercials for silk almond milk. It's like the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah.
You gotta get them checks, man. Where did you come from? Gotta get them checks, man.
All right.
He's out there screaming about silk almond milk. I'm like,
Thought that was some new age scissor or some shit, you know? Something I've never heard of. I'm like, Eric's drinking lean right now on the podcast.
oh, you don't know about that silk Patron?
That actually might sound good. That actually sounds kind of good. I might have to try that sometime.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, so I just want to say something real quick. I missed you guys. I know we've been chatting on DM, but like I was telling B Money, I feel like I didn't even talk to any of you guys in a long time. So other than DM and stuff, but so yeah, it's nice to be back. I was going to be on. We were going to be on actually this past Sunday, but I had a big birthday celebration last week. It's a week-long celebration. I did a lot of partying, a lot of consuming, because I consumed a lot of alcoholic beverages, but I had a good time though. So
Good holiday, man.
About right.
yeah, can't complain. So, so B Money, man, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Holiday?
New year, you know, had a great holiday, and getting ready for these games, man. A lot of games coming out real soon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll talk
Trying to
about
open up that wallet, man, and get it ready.
Best Buy.
You only got a
Bye,
month
man.
to deal with this, man. This is what happened, man. It used to be, at least back in the day, it used to be you at least had like 2-3 months to recoup that wallet.
Yep.
Now you got a month. There's not enough time.
Everyone got the same bright idea of putting their games in January.
No doubt.
February.
It's that fall season, man. Nobody, you know, you don't want to get bodied by like the big
boys.
multi-platforms. Yeah, you know,
Mhm.
used to be a different story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what do we always say? If you're
summer, but when they go in the summer, we'd be fine. But no.
right after Christmas or whatever you celebrate, it's like now they want to get that all the little holiday gift cards that you got and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Like you got money, we see you.
But yeah, I'm gonna wait 2 months. To pick it up.
Yeah. So Eric, man, you had a good holiday, man?
I had a really good holiday, man. It was just busy. We were actually moving
Mm-hmm.
during the holiday, so that was
So
very
Oh man.
stressful.
So that sweet
I
potato.
bet.
Oh man, yeah. If you're ever gonna move, don't ever use Dixie Moving Company in Delray because they're kind of stupid. They actually pack sweet potatoes in a box. And I said to my wife, I was like, there were sweet potatoes in the pantry. They packed everything. Do you remember them throwing them out? She said, I don't think so. So I had to go in storage and dig through like 7 boxes, and I found sweet potatoes.
Oh shit!
Were they okay?
Sweet potatoes were fine, but I'm like, they're gonna be in there they're gonna be in storage for a few months. That would have been pretty at all.
That'd have been no bueno, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sam, what about you, man? Sam, what about you, man? Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah. I had a holiday. It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fun stuff happening. Lots of good gaming going on. Way more drama with my family than I would have liked, but life is what it is. Chugging along.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. So, why don't we get in real quick what everyone's playing right now? Anchor, since you're the guest tonight, what are you playing, man?
Oh man, I'm on that backwards compatibility hit list. I'm not right. I'm not just backwards compatibility, also just the back catalog as well, but mostly backwards compatibility. We're knocking out Mass Effect. That was the most recent one I beat. Actually, it's not. I beat Watch Dogs 2 the other night, and I beat Infinite Warfare the night before, and I've been working on Forza Horizon 3, trying to finish that.
Nice, man.
And then playing Overwatch.
Nice. All right. B-Money, what about you, man?
Man, I've just been digging heavy on the Rainbow Six Siege. I got my kids PS4 for Christmas, so me and my son been, rocking out on that on the PS4, and then on Xbox still, playing my 2K daily.
Of course.
And then trying to finish up Tales of Zestiria because Berseria comes out on the 24th, so I'm trying to get ready for that. And then been playing a little 3-on-3 on the PS4. Play that with my cousin every now and again, and Uncharted multiplayer. I've been on vacation, so I've been playing a lot of games, man. Trying to get in as much as I can.
Nice. What about you, Eric?
So, in between like the move and everything, like I said, I'm still trying to finish off Final Fantasy 15. I think I'm pretty close. I'm in chapter 13 now.
Great fucking game.
I'm right at the end of chapter 13,
good.
So good.
Nice.
So then I'm trying to make a decision once I'm done if I go for the platinum, which I'm pretty close. So I think I might end up doing that. So, but then after that, like Anchor's saying, like I got a mountain of a backlog to like jump on. So yeah, and on top of everything else that's coming out in the next couple of months.
Nice. All right. What about you, Sam? What are you playing, man?
The Final Fantasy 15 life continues, of course. Absolutely, wonderful game. I'm taking as much time dragging it out as long as I can because it's just, every moment I spend there makes me want to spend 10 more. It's phenomenal. Let's see, what else have I been playing? A game I can't talk about it because I'm under embargo right now, but I will have a review going up sometime tomorrow, and it is a really fun, quirky game called Rise and Shine. So look for my review on that.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
We did the development review a while ago.
Yeah. I just can't talk about it right now, but look for my review tomorrow. I'll send it out on Twitter. I tried Killzone Shadowfall because I had missed it because I didn't get my PS4 at launch. That's about all I can say about it right now.
Were you under embargo
is.
for that one too?
No, it's media. No, it's not particularly inspiring in terms of first-person shooters. Not when you compare it to the level design of some others. And then I realized I don't have the platinum in Bloodborne, so I've been working really, really hard on that, trying to get that one. Hopefully I can have that sometime, because I'm playing a lot of Final Fantasy 15, but I'm throwing some Bloodborne in there, so hopefully I get that sometime next week. That would be ideal. And then I've been playing a lot of Gears, as usual. Working on those re-ups.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So I haven't been I haven't gamed in literally a week. I know I'm a fraud. Call it a fraud. I've been playing the game of life. That's what I've been doing. Just partying. Seriously, my birthday was literally a week-long celebration. I think I sent you guys pictures, so you guys saw some of the celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did, before my birthday hit, I did actually grind out in Final Fantasy 15 a little bit more. So, Eric, I'm not as far as you. I'm only at chapter 7 or 8. But dude, that game it's so good. It's gotten so much better the further along I've gotten into it. So
once you decide to leave chapter 3.
Once you leave chapter 3, man, it's a totally different game, man.
Yeah.
I actually left chapter 3 as soon as possible. I didn't stay there very long.
Yeah, that's smart.
Because a lot of people, you always hear a lot of people get hung up on chapter 3 and they just kind of hang there. Because you just like sidetracked with all the side missions and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I'm loving it, man. It's a great game. I'll get back into it. Probably tomorrow. And then I'm off on Friday, so I get to spend all day just grinding it out on Final Fantasy 15. But speaking of other games, I got to play, and I think most of you did too. I got to play the demo for Nier Automata. Oh my god, that demo!
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I am so sold on that game when it comes out. I think it comes out in March, right?
Yeah.
March 7th,
March,
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think B-Mud, I think you played it before I did. I think you were talking about it in the DM.
Yeah, man, that game is the truth.
Yeah, and it got me hyped. But you know what? I'll be picking up too next week. Gravity Rush 2.
Oh yeah, Gravity Rush 2.
No, I didn't play the demo. Did you guys play the demo?
Yeah, I played the demo. The demo was really short though, like really short.
Yeah, it's the same way. Like they've been doing a lot of demos lately, where it's really only like maybe a 10-minute experience, if that. They just want to give you a little taste.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Nier was perfect. I actually almost went back and played that demo a second time. I know some people that did.
I did.
Yeah, it's worth it.
I did. Actually, like once we moved, I got everything kind of set up. I was like, I'm gonna run through the Nier demo real quick because I can get that in like really quick and be done.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm ready for Nier. That's like right up my alley. Like that's my type of game.
Yeah, me too. I love the different perspectives, the different camera angles that you get in that game. How it goes from like third person to side scroller to top down, and it flows so well. Like it's so like the combat, the action is so smooth.
Right. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to take digs or make fun of, but I was playing that and I was like, this is sort of what a feel for what I thought Recore should have been. Like from a gameplay feel, not content, but from a gameplay feel, the way it moves, the way it plays, the way, I think if Recore would have been on that level, I don't think anybody would have had anything to say about it. Because again, Recore's concept is really good. It's just the execution is not.
Yeah, I enjoyed the concept. Just the world and technical problems were too much for me.
Yeah, and I want to go back in once it gets this next patch, or the patch already happened.
It happened sometime late this month.
It did happen. Okay.
No, it hasn't happened yet.
It's on my hit list. It's on my hit.
Yeah, I really do want to go in and finish it. And that's another question I have. Like, I hear a lot of people saying that they have Recore, that they play Recore, but how many people have actually finished Recore?
Not many.
No.
Right.
I'm like halfway through.
Yeah, that's kind of funny for a lot of people who are like very defensive of that game. If you have any criticism,
It's fun. It's just long.
Yeah, I think if it would have been tighter, not a big open world, just like a really concise, mission to mission setup, I think that would have benefited a lot.
Going back and playing a Legend of Zelda game if you have no nostalgia for the franchise or that particular game. It's like, it's good for kids. It's fun. It's kind of simplistic, and it's a good starter game though, like for kids, namely.
You say Zelda's a good starter game for kids, or?
Well, I meant like Recore is the same kind of game where it's a good starter RPG kind of thing, where it's like, not even an RPG, but like you're building yourself up. It's not entirely too difficult. I mean, it's match the colors, do the tethers.
I hear it gets kind of hard at the end though. And like a lot of people say, like the end game is not really worth everything that you put into it. But I want to experience it for myself if I can. I'm not going to promise I'm going to finish record, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Well, speaking of Nier Automata and Platinum, so Scalebound, and this has been, at this point, I think, talked a lot on the internet. Everyone's talked about this. On Monday, Monday actually, there was a rumor circulating. I think was it Kotaku that reported it first? I don't remember who. One of the news sites
had it first.
They had it first, yeah. So they were reporting that there's a rumor that Scalebound was canceled, and a few hours later, Microsoft issued a statement saying, after careful deliberation, Microsoft Studios has come to the decision to end production for Scalebound. We're working hard to deliver amazing lineup of games to our fans this year, including Halo Wars 2, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, Sea of Thieves, and other great experiences. So many of us here were, I think, disappointed by this news. I know I was. Platinum has a certain pedigree of creating some really fun action games, although they've made some games.
At this point, they've been 50-50.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that, for every 4 games that they put out, maybe one's good now. But I for one was looking forward to this game. It was a Platinum exclusive for the Xbox. It was something a little bit different for the Xbox platform. They showed some gameplay this past E3, although I think many of us would probably agree that what they showed really wasn't. I wasn't excited by it. I was actually more excited by the initial trailer they showed when they first, revealed the game. Was it at Gamescom or was it E3?
2014.
No,
Yeah, it was
That was when they revealed it.
Yeah. So, I was more impressed by that footage than I was. And that game, actually, when they showed it, it was in alpha. So, I was more impressed by that than I was at what they showed at E3. The multiplayer just didn't seem like it made sense to me. I think you even said that the footage they showed, like, it looked like there were some frame rate issues or something. Like, it just didn't look right.
It didn't look right.
Yeah.
It had frame rate issues at the reveal, but that was a little more forgiving because it was the 2014 reveal. So you kind of figure, well, it has some time. I would have shown it in that state personally. But by the time they got, what was it, the next Gamescom when they actually showed that boss battle?
Yeah, no, that was at E3. And when
that was E3?
Yeah,
okay.
that was E3.
And I was watching that. I was like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on. And it doesn't look like, it just looks like a big mesh of like, hey, we got this screen filling boss and a bunch of stuff going on.
And even like when you watch like the boss fight just didn't seem like it was that engaging.
No, it didn't. That's exactly.
It didn't make no sense at all. But.
Right.
It looked like a big guy on the screen and everyone's in their dragons just shooting him. There wasn't anything to it. It didn't make sense really. But I don't know. I mean, go ahead, Sam.
It was a giant enemy crab, and you hit it for massive damage.
But it didn't like they were doing any damage to it at all. It's just like they were just
exactly
hitting it with something and then running in, and I'm like, wow, that doesn't look like it's doing anything. Because usually you see a stage demo like that, there's an end, like they beat the boss, and then I'm like, But anyway, outside of that, I still had interest in Scalebound. I was intrigued by it, and actually, it was on my radar for sure. Like I wanted to see more from it. But I always had the feeling that game was in trouble, A, and B, I was kind of like, I still don't think this game is going to do well on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Remember every time we brought it up on the show, and I kept on saying, like, it doesn't make sense that, like, Nier and Scalebound, 2 big games are coming out in the same year. Like, one of them is going to fail. And
one of them did more than fail.
You know what I mean? Was the one. Like, I don't know what they were doing, but the game did not look right. It did not look like it was ready to be released. They definitely had more work to do in it, and it just seemed like they weren't that focused on it. So,
right, and like Chicken saying in the chat, Platinum has some bad games. Platinum is an odd developer because it depends on what team's game that you got,
right,
to play. Because some teams do much better than others. Like if you look at Vanquish, you look at Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, you look at Wonderful 101,
look at Mad World, you look at Bayonetta 2. Like those games are awesome games.
Awesome games. And here's the funny thing about them is some of their games are really critically acclaimed, but nobody plays them.
Yep.
you know.
Yeah,
But then
that's
they
the
do
thing.
have some stinkers.
They either have a critical success or a sales success, and they can't have both.
Mhm.
It's
Right, but for every one of those games, you get like what an Anarchy Reigns. That was theirs, right?
yeah, Anarchy Reigns,
Trash.
Mad World.
Didn't they do Teenage Mutant Ninja
No,
Turtles?
Mad World is actually a good game.
Mad World was an excellent game.
Mad World was actually, it was funny when I played Mad World. I had different sensibilities back then. I
Mhm.
played it on the Wii,
Mhm.
so I had a totally. It was one of the few games where I said I can't play this, and for whatever reason, I think it was the blood. Like at that time, I was just not ready. Like this is over accentuated blood to me.
Mhm.
Now I've become desensitized, and
It's kind of funny. Nintendo always turned to Platinum to give them their mature game because they did it with Bayonetta 2, they did it with Mad World, but yeah, like Chicken said, TMNT was horrible, but Transformers was actually a pretty good game. It's not a deep game, but it's a fun guilty pleasure game. Like you kind of go in there, you hit the nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you run through it, it's a few hours, and it's fun, you know. So yeah, they definitely have some stinkers in their catalog, but overall, most of their games are pretty critically acclaimed. It's just nobody, like most people ignore them. You either love them or you hate them.
And that's the thing though. Like every time they do a good game, it's like Bayonetta 2. It doesn't sell what they were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone loves Bayonetta 2 who played it, but it's like nah.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2 is fantastic. It just got trapped on the Wii U.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, but Nintendo put up that bread, man.
Exactly. That's why I tell people whenever they take that dig, I'm like, it wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Nintendo. So hey,
Facts.
you know, and it's a great game. I'll be selfish. I got to play it. You did pick up a Wii U for whatever reason. You know, which I'm sure there's a lot of them. There's a lot of reasons why some people didn't. But I like the Wii U. That was a great experience.
Yep.
Shit. Hell, I even like Devil's Third. Devil's Third is like it's like a drive-in B movie in a video game form. You know,
That's funny.
See, this is the thing. The thing I look at the development cycle that they do. Like, what was it? At one point, they were working on 4 different games at the same time. It's like, all right, you guys are overextending yourselves a bit too much. Like, you got studios who, like, on one end of the spectrum, like where they overextend themselves like too much, like Platinum. Then you got the other end of the spectrum where you got like Microsoft, where they have like 300 person teams devoted to one game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like you could spread yourself a little bit more. Then you got teams in the middle like Naughty Dog who are like doing a mixture of both. And it's like, hey, we're working on 2 franchises or maybe even 3, but we're spreading we're spreading ourselves too thin. We can actually handle this.
Yeah, right. That's a great point. Perhaps that's what happened. I mean, being spread too thin, and you got to think about the pressure and stuff that goes into game development, meeting certain milestones. I mean, you know, if they're working on 4 games at the same time and Scalebound's supposed to be a big AAA game, I mean, there's probably some internal conflict there that led them to maybe not, you know, be as far in development as maybe Microsoft wanted them to be in.
But this is what I don't understand. Like, everybody's like, oh, well, they're working on all these games. Microsoft's still the publisher of this game, and they started this game 4 years ago. So in this time, how many games has Platinum released? Microsoft had to notice like all the games. Like, how are you continuing to release all these games when you're supposed to be working on our franchise, our IP that we're paying to make?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
You know what I mean? So like, Microsoft should have, in my opinion, should have been stepped in and been like, "Yo, what the hell are y'all doing? Like, I don't care what y'all doing. Like, we paying y'all, so make this fucking game so it can release in a timely fashion."
Be money. They should have hired you as the project manager, man.
Now we're 4 years in. They've shown this game. You know what I mean? At these big events, people are getting hyped about it, and I was like, sorry, you know, we're walking away from them. We're done. The game is canceled.
Yeah, I look at it. I'm just like, how do you you look at Platinum's the thing? Like this is the thing. If you look at the decision and you look at what they've been doing, like I said, they worked on 4 games at one particular time. They had 4 bad release games. They did Star Fox. That game, they released Star Fox, and you have to ask yourself, why would you put yourself in this position? Why would you have it so your game, you're working on the most expensive kind of game to make, an open world RPG. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort.
Mhm.
It takes so much more resources than any other game franchise, and you can't rely on cheap things like multiplayer or anything else to really hold off on it. Because like the co-op thing, I think we all agree co-op kind of felt maybe not forced, but not maybe not built for that kind of franchise.
And I kind of have a feeling that's where they stumbled.
I think that was part of it. But at the same time, I think ultimately the blame lies on Microsoft and Platinum. I can't say it's one person over another. Microsoft should have recognized what was going on. They should have said, "Nah," like they shouldn't even announce this thing until it was almost done.
Mm-hmm. If you're gonna hand a report card out,
any game until it's almost done.
Right. If you're gonna hand a report card out, in a way, you kind of have to say both get an F because neither all that yardage gained to fumble the ball.
Right.
You know, there's losers on both sides of that. You know, it's like, you know, MS is, you know, they're left without their AAA game that they planned for this year. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, Platinum, for whatever Tamiya is saying going forward, it's like you have a bit more tarnish on you for whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah. And I think we can all look at it. We can all point out and say I think both people know they're in the wrong for this.
Right.
If it was just Microsoft doing this, you look at the messaging that Platinum's been doing. Platinum, like Kamaya, the most the unfiltered type of developer we've ever seen.
The guy blocks everyone.
Yeah, the guy who blocks Phil Spencer and anyone else. Like he doesn't care. He would have said something by now if it was just if it was just Microsoft being Microsoft or being assholes or something like that. He would have said something. But instead, he's out there apologizing. I mean, like, that's what you should be doing, apologizing for like heartbroken fans. But like, he's not even remotely putting blame on Microsoft or anyone else except for himself. He's blaming himself for this.
You know what, Anchor? This is the most humble I've ever seen him.
Oh yeah,
really is.
I mean, his tweet was. I'm like, whoa, is this him? You know, because I was surprised that he was this. Well, it's nice that he was as apologetic as he was, but he's usually not like that. So
yeah, I just wonder too how you get to the year of release, and now it's like, you know, you usually when you hear a game is going to get the plug pulled, it's somewhere in the middle of development.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you were all, for all intents and purposes, almost at the goal line. Like people were expecting this game, with, you know, and
that's what we thought.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we talked about it on the podcast before. I said this game has been announced a while. It's been in development for a while, and there's still no release date on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not even a release window. Like something's up with this game. Even Rand was saying that.
Well,
you know,
B Money said a couple weeks ago too. I mean, something's going to give here.
Mm-hmm.
And you were right. I mean, you were dead right. I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't know if you guys saw Platinum's. They put out an official statement today. Yeah, they basically said, we're sorry to say that on January 9th, 2017, Microsoft Studios announced the cancellation of Scalebound. We were very disappointed things ended up this way, especially since we know many of our fans were looking forward to this game as much as we were. Going forward, we'll strive to continue delivering high-quality games to you, starting with Nier Automata in March, and including products like Grand Blue Fantasy Project, Lost Order in the future. We'll keep working hard to meet your expectations, and we look forward to your continued support. So,
bro, don't let me hop on the channel and start talking about how these games were funded. Now let me stop.
Cal, what's up, man?
What's up, Cal?
I'm chilling. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm actually outside on the road. Shout out to on Twitter, JDub City, I think 16 or 19. My man just bought me a PS4 Pro.
Nice. What?
There you go.
Yeah. He's a big supporter of Tick, and I'm very appreciative of that. You know, he just wanted to, you know, hook a brother up, I guess, because he felt that, you know, we doing things the right way, and he's big because of us. Even though he's a PS guy, we're an Xbox show. We wanted to show love and support, so very appreciative of that.
That's what's up, man. That's community.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
community.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. And we officially have a Tick takeover now.
Yeah, I just wanted to stop it real quick. I know I seen the link. I'm actually, like I said, I'm on the wrong side right now, but I wanted to stop in and try to chime in a little bit and stuff like that. You know, some things happened earlier today, and I did a lot of a lot of tweeting and things like that on Twitter. And a few days ago, I can admit I was in my feelings about Scalebound because for me, as a JRPG dude, Scalebound was really important. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It was just something that Xbox didn't have. It was almost like Lost Odyssey in a way, but it was different. And the fact that it wound up getting canceled kind of hit me in a way where it was like I didn't want to blame Microsoft, but at the same time I felt like it was something they couldn't lose. I felt like it was a setback. But then after learning some news today that honestly I initially wanted to report, but immediately, as soon as I wanted to report it, something happened and it prevented me from doing it. And I didn't report the news and decided to hold on to it for the sake of pretty much, and this is the honest truth, for the sake of not ruining any connections that I have with Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? And Tick in a bad position because people got to understand I'm not IGN, I'm not GameSpot. So it's like I can't go out and then pump something out, after thinking about the situation and then think I'm going to be able to recover from that or recover my connections. Like a lot of bad things could happen in that instant. So I wound up just holding on to the news, but it'll be out there soon, man. It'll be out there, and I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nothing to lie about. Some people know. I put some people on via DM. Some people know what happened. Some people seen it. Some people know who I was talking to about it and stuff like that. But it's a crazy situation. I think Microsoft is partially to blame, but I put a big blame on Platinum. I really do, and it's disappointing that it happened the way it did.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as time goes on, we'll probably learn more about this. So yeah, it's funny you mentioned Lost Odyssey. I mean that to me was kind of like. For me, like a lot of ways, Scalebound was kind of like the Lost Odyssey for the Xbox One. It was such a unique title, and it was a platinum game. When's it? There's never been a platinum exclusive on the Xbox.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, so that to me, that was a lot of the hype behind it as well.
It definitely was unique in the fact that it was a fantasy game. It had adventure. It seemed like it had lore. It seemed like the possibilities were endless with flight. And then there was no guns. And that was the biggest thing. There's no guns in the game. So it really gave off an impression that it was unique and people really wanted it. And I don't know how many people were trolls and trolling Phil Spencer, or how many people actually were fans and just truly upset. It was overwhelming how many tweets I got off of that one response he gave to me. But I said this and I keep saying this again. And I hope Phil hears me. If it's not this show, I hope he hears me in tweets. I hope he hears me on Tik. Microsoft has to come out with something early. They cannot wait 6 months until E3 to talk about all the new games they got. They cannot. That's half a whole year. That's half. No way you wait 6 months after losing Scalebound and put nothing out there. It's really put a dent in the momentum. You got people talking about what's the point of Scorpio when you have no games. You have to be able to show something. Not saying you have to show your new stuff, but you got to show something. And if you show it on Scorpio, it will go a long way. And honestly, they should put Scorpio out early so they can worry about nothing but exclusives when E3 comes around. And I think that's really important. And I hope that they got some big stuff at this event because they're going to need it. I would love a new Mistwalker game, but I'm hearing a new Perfect Dark and a new Battletoads. That's what I'm hearing.
Nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Perfect Dark. It's been a long time since we've seen Perfect Dark. And Eric, you and I were talking about that the other day, man. How we're talking about Rare. How they really utilized Rare early on the days of the 360.
Yeah. Like
they started, and then they were like, no, we don't need them no more. Just put them on Connect junk.
Yeah.
You might have debates I've had with people about that. How I've kind of felt like in some ways they've kind of misused Rare by putting them on Connect.
They did Rare dirty. I don't care what nobody say.
Mm-hmm.
Rare could be like just as high as 343, and you know what I mean. Turn 10, they could be just as high as those development teams. They just, you know what I'm saying? They misuse them. They treat them like the little kids, and they put them in a playpen, and that's what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't respect them now.
Yeah, you think that happened like at a time where the 360 was kind of on that not from what they were doing in the early days. Because in the early days, it was like banger after banger after banger, all types of different games, all types of different genres, something for everyone. And I think in the end, it sort of became more or less like not that, for like
it became Halo, Gears, Forza.
Yeah, and there was just,
Forza.
and Call of Duty.
Yep, and even like when Viva Pinata was kind of popular, you know what I mean? They kind of they deaded that too. Like I don't understand what they were doing, man. They just totally misused Rare, and now like I hope I hope they really put some backing behind them and let Rare shine because them dudes is talented. At least like the old team was. It's kind of hard to say what the new team has got because we haven't seen Sea of Thieves release yet. But like their old squad, them dudes was the truth.
Yeah,
they were.
Like look how many people back Ukulele. You know what I mean when that game was announced, and that's nothing but rare team. You know what I mean? And look how so many people are hyped for that game. It's a 3D platformer, something that we haven't seen, and like it's released in April, and people are going crazy for that.
Yeah, and from all the previews and people who've actually had hands on with it, they're saying that the game is the truth.
Yeah,
so I'm hyped for that one.
So let me ask you something, guys. Where does this put Microsoft now? I mean, because now we have a situation where we've had two, what I would say are big franchises that were exclusive franchises for the console. We had the cancellation of Fable in the closing of Lionhead, right? And that game was in beta. And now we have this, and so what do you guys think that means for Microsoft now? I mean, I don't know how much we've talked about on this show. I don't remember how much we've talked about how important exclusives are. I mean, obviously, I don't think exclusives are important as they used to be. I still think they're important, but I don't think they hold as much weight as they did in previous console generations. I think we saw that early on with this console generation with regards to the PlayStation 4 and what Sony's done. But what do you guys think what do you think the ripple effect of all this is going to be for Microsoft?
I just want to chime in real quick because I'm driving right now and I'm going to head out. But I just want to say something. I want people to keep in mind of one thing. The Scalebound game, the Fable game, the Tomb Raiders, the Dead Rising Force, all the games that we've got are part of the Don Matrick era. I think that's the one thing people don't recognize. That $1 billion that Don Matrick spoke about when he first announced the Xbox One, these are all the games. And Scalebound would have probably been the last release on that era. 2017 is the Phil Spencer era. Scorpio is the Phil Spencer box. It's the only reason why I have confidence in what they may present at E3. Because this is what Phil Spencer had when he took over. You guys got to keep in mind, Scalebound had been talked about since 2010 between Maya and Microsoft. Greenlit in 2012. They've been working on that thing for 4 years. 4 years. And yet still, to this day, there was engine problems, there was development problems, there was delays. The game was a pit. And trust me, you guys know, if you see me on Twitter, I went at bat for platinum. I did. I really did. But the realities of it is the realities of it. So I think what?
You think?
What does he think? I need to know.
Tune in next time to find out just what he thinks.
Tune in next time. Looks like we lost.
Well, I'll come back and finish his thought. Stay tuned next week.
It's like Batman. Well, he does bring up a good point. I mean, a lot of the stuff, everything we've seen up to this point has been a byproduct of the Matrick era. It's funny when I see people say, "Oh, we got to bring Don Matrick back."
No.
God, no.
I'm like, just
no.
I'm like, people, just chill out, like, relax. It's like, it's not the death of the Xbox,
No.
But he brings up a great point. I mean, this is, Scorpio is Phil Spencer's console,
right? Yeah, and Fastback and Chicken to say that they mentioned that I was gonna allude to that. The things that were in place before definitely were Don Matrick's, and now theoretically that expiration date is over. 2017 is now Phil's completely.
Right. All of that is out at this point.
Right.
Like, all the stuff that's been laying the framework for the future, and we're not seeing a lot of it. Like it's putting investment in publishers and putting investment, well, not publishers, putting investment in studios and doing all this stuff. It's like we don't see that. We won't see it until like what 2019.
Places. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I mean it just takes time. So I mean that's all I'm thinking about.
It does. It takes time, and obviously, there's the whole quantity versus quality argument. It's. I mean, I'd prefer that we had more, more games from them hard set in stone. But ultimately, it's okay. I mean, they have State of Decay 2, Halo Wars 2, which I'm personally very excited for. I know I'm in the minority, but whatever. You guys are losers. And they've got Crackdown 3. It places a greater emphasis on the quality aspect. For me, they have to deliver on each and every one of these titles. They have to show that, okay, we're going to give it nothing less than the best treatment possible, the best polish possible.
It's interesting, Sam. You mentioned those games, and Cal said something before he dropped about Scalebound. I think the allure, or at least for me, what got me really excited about Scalebound was that it was a game that didn't have guns, and it was this fantasy game, and it had this style. This character had a style that you typically, at least I feel, typically don't.
Well, that character was annoying as shit. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I was like,
no,
is this what they think of like American like?
I mean, yeah, we're Beats Audio,
headphones, snarky. I'm like, oh god, tone this kid down.
Music, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, but it was different though, and it had that fantasy element. I mean,
right. Right.
One of the things I love about Final Fantasy 15 is that fantasy element. It's different from, let's say, a game like The Witcher 3, which is a little more barbaric in some ways. It had that fantasy element that I think a lot of us can relate to because we grew up playing those types of games. But back to my other question that I wanted to ask you guys. What do you guys think this means now with again, Fable being canceled? Now we have Scalebound.
You also have to mention that the same month that we learned that Lionhead Studios was no more, they also got rid of Press Play, which did a lot of their smaller games.
Yeah,
and then the year before, Twisted Pixel decided to go independent. So I mean that they lost some major players and their first party.
Lost Bungie.
You know what I mean? So. They also canceled Project Spark. There's a big hoopla about Conquer coming back, and they put some Conquer stuff in that game, and then Project Spark is like no more. You know what I mean? Yep. So like they've made some decisions to where I can understand where people are like, yo, what is going on over there?
Yeah, well, what about Phantom Dust? I mean, that was a thing. Now it's not a thing.
Well, they're supposed to remake the first game. But even that hasn't had like an official announcement, that really haven't said much about that. So,
and outside of the list war, can people really stop acting like they knew what the fuck, Phantom Dust was before it was announced?
Right.
Stop it.
Everybody's like, oh, it's my favorite game. The game sold like 5,000 copies when it released, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
like, stop it.
Dude, Phantom Dust everyone knew Phantom Dust. Come on.
Yeah, all 50 copies of it that were like out there.
That shit when that came out, that was a very
you could buy it at the dollar store, man. That's how bad it was. Nobody was buying that game, man. Come on, stop
it. It's like people are hyped about Voodoo Vince now. How many people actually remember that?
And I'm all for games like getting a second life because it might be the time that a Phantom Dust hits. But it's one thing that when you remaster it, hopefully the remaster ends up being good. It could find a whole new home, a whole new audience, and that'd be great. But people need to stop pretending like it was the greatest shit ever that they've been waiting on forever. It's like some of you weren't even like old enough to play a console when they came out.
Facts. You know what? That's there's some truth to that, Eric. There's some truth to that. Well, you got to remember. I mean, Bungie leaving Microsoft was kind of a big deal too. And I'm not trying to pick on Microsoft here, but them leaving and making. And we could all, you could say what you want about Destiny, but Destiny's been a huge title for them.
Yes, it has.
I mean, Destiny is a machine. I mean, look, I have my issues with it. I have a love-hate relationship with Destiny, but I mean, Bungie delivered the goods, and in a lot of ways, we talked about Halo 5. I really feel like 343's been kind of chasing Bungie's shadow a little bit with the last couple, with the last Halo releases, and not that Halo 5 was terrible, but if I'm being honest with myself, it's not at the Bungie level. At least for me, it hasn't been.
No, Halo 5 is not terrible because you have to really just not be trying to be terrible, but it definitely was not great. It wasn't, yeah, I was not hyped. And a funny thing, those kind of things kill your hype for, because again, I'm not the biggest like multiplayer dude. Like I'll jump in certain multiplayer games, to be a part of the fun, but that's not the thing that I look for first. I'm not one of those people that's like, how's the multiplayer? And they are really supporting the multiplayer in that game, which is great for those who really want that.
Yeah.
But I've said from jump, and I think B, we talked about this before too. I said, I think they were so hell bent on not having another Master Chief Collection scenario.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And campaign to me suffered for it. I'm like, this campaign is bullshit.
Yep.
And the lore of Halo and the tradition of Halo, where the campaign was just as important as the multiplayer, they went hand in hand. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Right.
And nobody wanted to call it at the time. I don't know if people will now, but I'm like, there's nothing wrong with being critical of something that you love. You want it to be better.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know. I can't really talk about Halo 5 because I'm not really a Halo guy as it is.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So I was like, yeah, I played it, and I was like, yeah, I liked it about as much as I like the other Halos. So
Hey, I'm gonna have to kick you off the podcast, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, don't you imagine how crazy it is being a part of the Xbox podcast, the premier Xbox podcast, and not like Halo?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You're not like a big Killzone fan, are you?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's a big Killzone fan.
I don't even the people who call themselves Killzone fans are really fans.
Killzone 3 was good though.
Killzone is the biggest thing working against my hype for Horizon Zero Dawn. Honestly,
Well, in their defense, they have some outside talent working on that game. I think.
Oh, and that's what shows for sure.
Yeah, I mean they have somebody. Isn't CD Projekt Red working on, or didn't they do some work on Horizon?
4 or 5 people who wrote the Bloody Baron quest are handling most of the major story. Yes.
Oh, Sam, that was such a good quest, by the way.
It's not
It really was.
But,
Who's the dev working with them?
I almost said Miss Walker, but it's not them. It's
we were just talking about the other day.
yeah. Who's the dev? Shit. Somebody in the live chat tell us, because I'm drawing blanks here.
And I have no reason to believe that Horizon won't be, probably will be a pretty good game. I mean, again, previews, people talking about it. Most people come away, walking away from it, having good things to say. It's not like some other games that we hear about. People are like, well, usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
You know what? From what I've heard, man, the Sony, the big ups in Sony are very, 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 very happy with Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And there's just
everything I've seen about it, it looks like an interesting game. Like, I mean, a lot of people are gonna like it, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those games that everyone's gonna talk about for like a month, and then no one will bring it up ever again.
I don't know.
That feeling.
Might actually.
I don't know,
I
man.
think this might be like a new franchise for them.
I'd hope so. I'd really hope so, but I do not get that feeling from it. Like, I just don't.
Regardless of which way you feel about it, if you plan to play it, be very careful because evidently the entire story
Yes,
is leaked.
watch out for that.
Yeah,
Be very
that.
careful.
Already leaking stuff. It don't.
And people are dicks.
oh, is it leaking? People are leaking the story.
Oh
right?
yeah, people
Yeah.
leaked the story in the ending like a couple days ago.
Wow.
I read it.
I think it's.
I read it, so I can-
working on it too, or did some
I
work on
read it, and if it's really a problem, if I ever see anything out there, I'll tell you if it's real or not. Like, or say, ignore this dude. He's being a bullshitter.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but back on what you were saying, Enrique, about Scalebound having like that fantasy element. I think, you might agree. Like when it came to like Fable had that other side of it for it, but at the same time, Fable, at least from what I could tell, was kind of like declining a bit because if you like, most people love Fable 1. Fable 2 was like the epitome of like the franchise, and then a lot of people were mixed on 3. But at least it was there as that fantasy game that kind of rounded out like the bang bang shooter game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So but it seems like lately, all ducks in a row, whether they were Matrix or whoever's, it was like, You know, even though people say Quantum Break was doing something different, I kind of disagree. It was still a shooter.
Yep.
You know, Recore was still a shooter. Gears 4, another shooter. You know, they all do
I'm
things
gonna
differently.
disagree
But
at that point. I mean, if we want to get really, really, what's the word? Nitpicky about it, we can define a lot of things as shooters technically. But I'm a known member of the Quantum Break and Remedy Defense Force, so that's a whole nother.
I'm a huge Remedy fan. I bought every Remedy game, so I can definitely call Remedy out. You know,
That's fair.
Quantum Break to me.
Well, that sounds like the kind of argument a fanboy would use. Like, I bought a PlayStation 4 so I could talk shit about it.
I look at it like this: I put my money down on anything. I have an opinion.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I look at it. You know.
Yeah.
And again, to each his own. I don't hate Quantum Break. I think Quantum Break is an overall good game, but again, I don't think it was the masterpiece that people were trying to like push it up to be. You know, that's just my opinion on it. I'm not trying to shit on anybody else's parade.
Terrible final boss ending. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a horrible final boss.
No one will disagree on that one.
Yeah. So, V-Money, I want to ask you something, man, because you kind of agree with what Cal said. With they got to show something now.
Man, I've been saying this. I've been saying this since the generation started, man. This whole thing where like Microsoft was like, "Oh, we good till E3. We good to E3." I'm like, how you hyping up E3 in January?
Right.
Like that makes no sense to me. Like, why are you hyping up something that's 6 months away? We hyped up Scorpio for 18 months. We still ain't seen nothing. Where's that though?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying from jump that I don't think they should have announced Scorpio at E3.
No,
but that was my own selfish personal reason. I was like, now I got to hear about this shit for a whole year.
Everybody's hyping up something. We don't even know what it is. Ain't seen no games run on it. Nothing. But everybody's so hyped about it. Yes, it's cool. They got great tech. Yes, we understand that. But that's just like, yo, you know what I mean? You get hyped for Christmas every year, right?
Yep.
No, you know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, yeah, we know it's coming.
Right.
It comes December 25th every year. Good. It's Christmas.
Yeah. But you know what?
Why are you hyping it up in January?
Yeah. You know what? I just regarding Scorpio, I almost feel like Scorpio is like its purpose is to, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, with these, look, if you look at the Xbox One and Sony this generation, I mean, they're more like this generation than they were last generation, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft, to me, their big differentiator last generation was Xbox Live, right? And the fact that the games for the most part ran better on the 360. The 360 was easy to develop for, and now coming to this generation, you have games that are based on the same type of architecture, and Sony came in with a slightly more powerful console that at times, majority of the times, tends to run
power thing. Like PS4 being slightly more powerful, yeah, that's all good and fine. Mm-hmm. But I guarantee you, ask the average person, you know what I mean, which console is more powerful, they couldn't even tell you. People are going to buy the console where their friends are at, regardless of anything. Where your friends are at is where you're going to buy your console, buy your games. That's where most people are social at. You know what I mean? So PS4 being slightly more powerful than Xbox had nothing to do with it selling more. Yes, to fanboys and people who are actually into the tech, yes, they may have bought a PS4 over Xbox One. Mm-hmm. But to most people, it's not a big deal. They're going to buy where the games are at that they want to play and where their friends are at. Mm-hmm. If you look at the consoles right now, they both got party chat. They're both of them you got to pay to play online. You know what I mean? They both essentially have the same games. All the third-party games are on both consoles. You know what I mean? You might have a preference over a controller or whatever the case may be. But they both do the same exact thing for the most part. So you go where your friends are at or where the games are at that you want to play. If you like Halo and Gears, guess what? You probably bought an Xbox. If you like mostly single-player experiences, you probably bought a PS4. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But the power was not a big deal.
If you care about power, you bought a PC.
Yeah, there you go. And you know what I said to you? Like I had a debate with a buddy of mine, sort of close to the beginning of the gen. I said, the hardcore, the old hats, they're gonna kind of buy, like D-Money said. Most of them are gonna buy where their friends are, and then some of them, money permitting, they're gonna just own both, just cover all their bases, right? But you're also in this generation, because the last one went on so long, now you have a whole sector of gamers, casual, hardcore, whatever you want to call them, who were at an age when the 360 and the PS3 launched. They didn't have their own means to do it. Now most of them are in their early 20s, mid 20s, early, teens, with their own funds, their own means of purchasing, and they're going to go where the rest of their crew is going. And it's just like, buying iPods. A lot of people buy them because, hey, that's popular. iPhone's popular.
Yeah.
It's just how it kind of goes. So Sony kind of had like that appeal of a little bit popular, a little bit more mainstream, a little bit more in the mindset at times, and that's kind of where a lot of that probably went.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying about power not being the biggest, reason why people are buying these consoles or buying the PlayStation 4, but I do think though the power now, because of the way the consoles are, they have the same features. When you said that both have party chat, both have a pretty robust online network. Both, I mean, look, if you look at both platforms, gamers are pretty much playing the same games on both platforms, right?
Yeah. None of the exclusives are the ones that are like touted.
Yeah. So what's a differentiator now? It's got to be power.
No, I'm telling you, it's not the power. It's not the power. Power is not the differentiator.
Well, I think that's I think that's the point of the Scorpio, though. I think that my opinion is I think that they think that is the differentiator. That's going to help them.
I'm telling you, if they try to tote power as a differentiator, they're making a mistake. They need to tote all the other features and not even talk about 6 teraflops or 5 teraflops, whatever fuck they got in there. You ain't got to say shit about that. Say you have the option to run a game that runs at 30 frames or 60 frames. Okay. Now you got my interest. You have the ability to run this game at 4K. Now you have my interest. You know what I mean? You have all these other features. Then you have someone who's like into tech. You have their interest. The general, the people who've already ran out, and we got basically 80 million consoles or 90 million consoles out there. You know what I mean? Right now, there's not going to be 90 million people going out buying a PlayStation Pro and a Scorpio when it releases. Like you're not going to get that same influx of people running out buying your new console. These consoles play the same exact games. So for the most part, you get all the people who are into tech, all the people who are enthusiasts are going to run out and buy these newer consoles. Right. And that's about it. You know what I mean? Like, so speaking that power is good to a certain extent, because the people who are really into that will go and buy it for those reasons. Everybody else don't give a shit about that.
No, because I would say most of the people I deal with are like friends, family, whatever, are casual gamers. And when I say casual, they pick up 2 or 3 games a year, and they rock out on like one console, whatever. And all of them call me to ask what the buzzword that they keep hearing is. I keep like, what's going on with like 4K? I keep hearing 4K, but none of them really necessarily care about that. Like,
right.
If my cousin hits me up, he'll say, "Hey, what should I be playing right now? What game? Suggest a game to me," and I'll tell him, "Okay, go play this." He's a PS4 dude, so I'm like, pick up Uncharted. Well, he already picks up Uncharted 4, but I'm like, check out XYZ. He's like, okay, cool. But he doesn't say to me, what's the resolution on that? Or what's, it's just, I don't know. I'm with B Money. I don't think, I could care less about the whole power thing. I'm more about what games am I going to be playing on it? Because if not, I just have a really high power paperweight.
High power paperweight.
And that's for both sides. So, I mean, honestly, I don't have a Pro because right now I don't have a compelling reason to go buy a Pro.
Right.
And the same to me, it says the same thing for Scorpio. Like, until you give me the compelling reason, it's cool that you're going to do it. It's fine that you're answering the power thing for the fans who have been bugging you about it. But until you show me why I need it, I'm not going to be one of these people that's like, oh my God, the power, the power, the power. Shut up about the power. Where are the games? That's all I've ever cared about.
Consumer options is what it comes down to.
That's true.
They need to focus. They need to focus on giving the consumers, like they've been doing a very good job of, options. Say you can do this, or you can choose to do this, or you can choose to do this, because you, the consumer, get to decide if you want to run the game this way or you want to focus on this. It's up to you. You want it to look better, or you want it to run better. They focus on that, it'll be all right.
Here's the thing. People, it's really weird because back in 2013, I was not a part of the YouTube space. I was not a part of doing podcasts or anything like that.
Same
the most I ever got into was doing Call of Duty Clan. That was it.
Mhm.
That was the most I ever got into anything. And I had a 360. I had the Wii. I dabbled with PS3 a little bit. My brother had one, and it was just like whenever I was getting, I was trying to decide what I was going to get. I looked at both options, and I was looking at what kind of games were coming out and where my friends were. Exactly what B-Money's talking about. I didn't care about power. I didn't care about all that kind of stuff. I was just looking at what kind of games you got and where are my friends going. Like I was looking at, okay, I just like Microsoft's thing better. Sunset Overdrive probably single-handedly sold me on that concept.
Mhm.
I love Sunset Overdrive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the concept. I love the creativity. I was having a good time with it, and I also liked Insomniac because they created the first game I ever completed, which was Spyro the Dragon. Because before I had a really bad problem with actually like sticking with something and completing it. But Spyro was the one game I was like, I could sit down, play it from start to finish, and enjoy it. And it's like I like the games they were showing, and my friends are already Xbox guys, so I was like, hey, I'm going to follow them. It was fun. And that's the exact reason why people buy consoles and why they buy a particular kind of console.
Mhm.
Because you could have someone who's like really into power, but I guarantee they won't stick with it if all their friends are on something else.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, some truth to that. Yeah. I mean, we've seen that in previous console generations that power doesn't always, trump. So, it's who is it? Shit, I can't remember his name now. Anyhow, but no, I mean, it's, but that was my point. I just felt like, maybe they've kind of caught up in this power thing and they just feel like that's just a big differentiator. And that's why, Sony's kind of, ahead of them this console generation. But I don't think that's the only reason why, though. I mean, I agree with you, B-Ways. There's other reasons that I don't want to go back to 2013, but
yeah, I think we make our world. Okay, B?
Like Wood said though,
yeah.
they need to get in front of it now. Like,
Yeah.
come April, we should already know what the Scorpio is, or give us some type of teaser, whatever the case is. Only if it's, even if it's only one game. You know what I mean? At that point, you should have a trailer ready for State of Decay 2 or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Just show us something that runs on a Scorpio. Tell us what the Scorpio is. So then that way, you already got the hype train going for E3. So you got 2 months of build up. You know what I'm saying? Before E3, or like a month and a half or whatever. Before E3 hits, everybody's talking about your system. Everybody's hyped. You know what I mean? Because like everyone keeps saying, this is the year of Phil Spencer. We're going to see the games that he's bringing forth. So that would be the perfect way for you to be like, okay, we got the hype train rolling. Now we're going to hit him in the face with all these damn games that we about to show. You know what I mean? There's rumors that there's supposed to be 14 games that they show or whatever, like new games. So they can smack people upside the head all day long. You know what I mean? They're the first one that starts, they kick off, you know what I mean, the major consoles or whatever. So Microsoft always goes first. They got the chance to really stump, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
About everybody, because they have the most powerful console on the market, and they'll be running all these new games. Like, wait until E3. You know what I mean? I think, first of all, Sony starts to kick up the momentum because they have some big games releasing in their first part of the year. But you also have Switch that releases in March. So we have the Switch event for tomorrow. We'll see whatever the games that they have or whatever the case is tomorrow and the following day. But if they have some notable titles that release, you know what I mean, in that first quarter when the Switch releases, now everybody's talking about Nintendo. You know what I mean? So, like, we have to wait until E3 before we start talking about Microsoft again. So I think they need to get in front of it and do something before E3.
Go ahead, Anchor.
I agree with you to an extent. I think they do need to be saying, announce the games everyone knows is already coming out. Do those early. Like, everybody knows Forza Motorsport 7's coming out. Like, and that thing will be a technical showcase basically for Scorpio. We know that.
It's supposed to be
everyone knows this.
Right.
Like, it's just
like you need to spend a lot of time on that.
Them to use. Like they will show you here's the power and use that game to show it off. And I think what they need to do is the modification of that. I think they do need to have a Scorpio event prior to which I think April will be a good month.
Yeah.
Or even May. May may be a little late. April would be better. But
April would be perfect.
But the other thing is with that is they need to have it where they show off the next Forza, show off Crackdown, basically show the workhorse titles, and show the titles like that. You know, they're not like super big things, but show release date with it. But then show something new at that one event. But you do it earlier. If you could even do it in March, go for it. But I don't think they could do it in March. I don't think it would work. It wouldn't happen in time. But anything to kind of stave off, because right now everybody's all doom and gloom. Everyone's like, it's the end. Everyone's freaking out. And because Phil has got to do something to reinstill faith right now. January is the worst month possible for Xbox fans. Every January, there's some big news going down.
Well, yeah. And especially for the fact that we are saying that 2017 is officially Phil's year. The reins are his completely. There's no metric deals or any of that stuff. So he really has the opportunity to put his stamp on things. If it turns to be a little bit lackluster and it's more about hardware than it is software, how does that come off?
Yeah. He's about restart. He's about restart mode right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
guys, I gotta admit, when I saw the year of the Scorpio tweets on like January 1st, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. You know? Yeah. I was like, what's that?
I just said you're not escaping it because I know how you and I have talked about that.
Yeah, I'm just
like we understand why it was done,
right?
But we would have preferred they didn't announce it at E3, and it's like, okay, the talk is finally steadied down a bit now.
Right, right.
Day one, Aaron has got it out there.
I was like,
emojis rolling.
Yeah.
I was like, you couldn't even wait till January 2nd. It's like,
no, bring in the new year. The new year is purple.
New Year's purple. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah, but say, speaking of the Switch, because Nintendo has an event tomorrow. It goes live. What is it? 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
And so who's excited for that event? Because they're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch. We know it's going to pre-order start on Friday, the 13th.
To the chopper.
Early morning, man.
Well, what few pre-orders are available?
Well, John's apparently going to GameStop at like 6 a.m. I'm like, dude, that's commitment.
No, yes, you have to. Come on, man. If you really
are you serious?
You got that Switch gang, you got to do it.
Every retailer has said that they have received, and I quote, extremely limited stock.
Exactly.
They're pulling the exact same BS, and it really, really ticks me off.
Because Enrique, you're not just going against like people who want it; you're going against scalpers too.
Yep.
Exactly.
I would actually say you probably have more scalpers in line than you have,
people who really want it.
People who want it. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. If I have to get up at 6 a.m. on my day off to go, and we're already hearing about shortages. Nintendo. We all know how Nintendo likes shortages.
I swear to God, like I understand why they do it. It's stupid. Like it's really dumb because there's no reason for there to be a shortage of anything at this point. Like
No.
You can have enough production to meet demand. You have the benefit of pre-orders. Like it's not going to randomly disappear.
Capitalism. People want to buy your product. Make the product. Let them buy it.
Mm-hmm.
They do this all the time. I mean, like the Amiibo thing. I mean, you're creating scarcity to create a tiered system of these are considered rare Amiibos. These are not considered rare. You're doing that. I understand why they did it. I don't like it, but I understand why they did it. But then at the same time, like because of the Wii, where they actually did have some actual scarcity problems in the beginning, and then they just kind of like extended it and created the hype. Like, oh, I just now got one. Like that was the only benefit of that. But then it was like, why would you continue this practice? Why would you, on purpose, decide, yeah, we're not going to have enough to meet demand? Because you think people are going to sit around and be like, oh, well, I didn't get it this time. I'll just wait 2 months for the new stock to come in. Then I'll go pick it up. Now people move on.
No, they're going to try to cash in on the holiday fever by doing that. Create that hype and fever for holiday where people are trampling of each other. To try to get a Nintendo Switch. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. It's going to be
like
months
all the way.
Yeah, months of people like checking the Toys R Us circular. Sunday morning we'll have six Switches in stock.
I got to be honest with you guys. I am really, really fighting the urge, ethically speaking, to boycott them for this. I am really considering it because this stuff should not be allowed to continue.
Sam, I've heard people say that too. I've heard people say that they're not going to, if they in fact do this on purpose, that they're not going to support or buy this console.
I am strongly considering it, to say the least. And it's not that, I'm not happy about it at all. I really want one. I think I agree with John. I think the Switch is one of the most fascinating consoles to come along in a while. But this goes beyond blatantly anti-consumer.
Yeah, I mean it does. So Chicken Spaghetti in the live chat says that he's saying there's going to be 1,000 Nintendo Switch units available for pre-order worldwide. Now,
get that zero key fixed, dude. It repeated itself a couple of times.
He's speculating, but I don't know. That sounds about right for Nintendo.
Hey, I'll tell you what, there'll be a ton on eBay.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah, you're gonna have people selling that shit like hotcakes, man, or selling that shit for like $1,000.
They're gonna sell for $1,000.
Yeah,
1,200. Somebody will pay. Some little kid to get their mom to buy him one from off of eBay.
Wait, so who's all right? So I want to. Are you guys gonna go out like 6 in the morning?
No.
No, I won't be doing that.
I won't be there at 6, but I'll definitely be there right when the store open, man.
Yeah, that's about. And if it's not meant to be in that first round, then that's gonna suck. I'll try to go through other means, but I'm not getting up at 6 a.m.
I think you'll have a better shot of going to like Best Buy or something like that than you will GameStop.
Well, I'm going to Best Buy anyway.
I already got the spot marked out. I got the spot marked out. I got 2. Actually, I think 3 businesses all in the same area who all are going to be selling a Switch. So they're all like right there.
There you go.
GameStop. I got Target. All right there. It's like ready to go.
Shit. I really didn't want to be out there at 6 in the morning. I'm actually not going to go to GameStop. I'm going to go to Best Buy because there's.
I'm going to wait because the thing is, my town's weird. It's really fickle. It's one of those like in between towns where we're a larger town. We're not like the capital of the state or anything like that. But like we're a big enough town, like we get the basic stuff. But at the same time, we're small enough where we kind of get overlooked by the rest of the country. And so it's funny, like whenever it comes to stuff like this, like getting the Wii was actually really easy because we were big enough where like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a good chunk of stock. But at the same time, like we were small enough where our demand was not really that high either. So.
Wait, let me ask you guys something. So Bella in the live chat said people had plenty of time to pre-order this already. Do they do initial pre-order already?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not aware of that.
I think you
not where I'm at.
GameStop or something, but not.
They did that shit down under, but they didn't do it here.
Not in Freedom Land.
She means for Switch?
She's saying people had plenty of time to place a pre-order. If you slept on it, you're bad.
They haven't gone live.
If there's 3 pre-orders available and we miss them, sorry, that's not consumers' fault. That is 100% on them.
I wasn't anywhere. I was not aware of any pre-order.
Hold on, let me do some searching.
I'm gonna go look it up right now, man.
Yeah, Bella, we're fact checking you right now. We're gonna fact check you right now.
Nope, Switch pre-orders legally open on Friday.
Ooh, you guys.
Now here's the question. I think Walmart's doing pre-orders too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most Walmarts are open 24 hours. You hit them at midnight.
Ooh,
That's how I got my NES Classic. I just went at midnight.
Ooh,
that's good thinking.
Ooh, Eric, look at you, man.
That is good thinking. I like that.
Man, I used to be an action figure collector, dude. I knew all the schedules. Anchor knows what I'm talking about, man.
But the fact that we would have to be talking about doing something like that to get a console at launch,
It is, man. And this has always been their practice. It's become like that thing now. It's like they're almost like their badge. Like you kind of know what it's going to be, and it sucks.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't find a NES Classic. I basically just gave up. And my 7-year-old's been asking me about it. He's like, "Hey, when do we get the NES Classic?" I'm like, Psh, "The Switch is coming out."
B and I have like the same kind of feelings on GameStop, and I'm telling you why. Another reason why they're shitty. I had to go in there because I did pick up Ratchet and Clank when it was on sale for my nephew, right, over Christmas.
Yeah.
And they had the box for the NES Classic and the controller.
Hold on, Eric, I don't mean to cut you off here. Okay, hold on, wait. Bella is saying she has her pre-ordered already.
She's
It
getting.
looks like EB Games Australia is offering them for $1,000 pre-order.
Well, okay, so Bella pre-ordered it for $1,000.
Now that's Australian currency. That's a little higher than American, obviously, but you're still talking about roughly 2.5 times, 2.8 times what the Switch's actual value is going to be.
Yeah. Hey guys, I got to split. I love to talk about the Switch, but I got to go.
All right,
All right, Andrew.
All right,
Hey,
Andrew.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Help it on, man.
It's been awesome, dude.
All right, we'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying GameStop had the box and the controller like sitting out, and I asked the dude, I said, "Do you actually have the?" Because I needed an extra controller. He goes, "No, they're just on display." He looked at me, he goes, "I know." He's like, "I've fought like with my district manager to take it down because everybody comes in here, 40 times a day. They ask me the same question, and then they get pissed because they can't actually buy it. But the box is sitting right there because they want us to still display it." I'm like, that is the dumbest thing ever.
No, man, they're trying to generate that hype, man.
But they don't have it to give you.
Yes, Bella. We know you're in Australia. She just chimed in. I'm in Australia. Yes. Let's see here. So
did Australia get like special pre-orders for the Switch?
I don't know.
It looks like it. It looks like you were able to, if you're willing to do EB Games $1,000, then you can if you're in Australia.
Yeah. Hell to the no. I'm not going to spend $1,000.
No, son.
No. When I saw NES Classic selling for $500, I mean that's fuck. I'm like, that's fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah.
No, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, me either. But I'm gonna try Best Buy on Friday since I'm off. I got my fingers crossed. I can't imagine all the people actually go. I shouldn't say that. Maybe people do go to Best Buy to pre-order consoles. I don't know.
I've pre-ordered all my consoles from Best Buy. So when the Xbox One and the PS4 came out, that's where I got it from.
But B-Money, let me ask you, why don't you like GameStop, man? Hello?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, oh, there it is.
No, I actually hate GameStop because there's actually a couple. It's probably been a while now, probably 8 or 9 years. But I was actually in there stopped in there. I was actually going to pick up a controller actually for my 360, and I just happened to go in there because it was just like on the way home or whatever. My wife and my kids were already in the car. I was like, I need to get a new controller. My controller had like right stick drift or whatever, so like it was like pissing me off. So I stopped in there.
Yeah.
And it's like these two brothers or whatever. They're trying to trade in like all these games to get like Call of Duty or whatever. And they had like maybe 7 or 8 games. So they trade in like all their games, and they still didn't have like enough to get like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, don't trade those games in. I just gave him the money, and I bought the Call of Duty for him. I was like, man, you guys go home. You take your games back home. You can have this Call of Duty on me. And like they were just like jumping for joy. You know what I mean? And I was just like, there's no way. Like their mom, you know what I mean, had to buy like these games, or like they had to save up their money to buy these games. And like they're trading in all these games like just to get Call of Duty. And like it just didn't sit right with me. Cause like I don't trade my games in, you know what I mean? Like I either buy them digitally or buy them physically. Like I have a huge cabinet of game discs, you know what I mean?
Right there
like,
with you.
Right, you know what I mean? So it's to see like these kids, that like teenage kids, like trading in all the stuff that they saved up, you know what I mean? Their little pennies for just to get like Call of Duty. Like I couldn't have it, man. So I was like, here, I bought the Call of Duty for them or whatever. They were like super crazy, and they were like, thank you. And I was like, man, just go home, take all your games with you. Like this one's on me. And I got my controller and got out of there. And ever since then, like I never went back to GameStop because like I can't understand how a company like that like devalues like properties like that and then expects, you know what I mean, like you to go in there, trade in all your stuff and get like one game or whatever. And they've gotten better because of like Best Buy and other places who've started to accept like trade-ins and stuff like that. But like you think like you spend $60 on a game, right? You beat it in a week. And in most cases they give you like $32 for the game or whatever.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, you could easily just resell the game on like Amazon or eBay and probably get like $45 for it or whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like they go in there, they devalue games so quickly. If like a game is on sale, they devalue it, and then like they put that shit right back on the shelf and sell it for $55. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so it's not even that much of a discount.
Yeah, like I understand, like it's a business and all of that, but like
you can have ethics and maintain business at the same time. That's one of the characteristics of a good business. That's what proper capitalism is built on.
Yeah, and I just can't get with it, man. Like
you know what pisses me off about them, and you probably had this happen to you too, B, Enrique, Adam, and Sam. You go in there and you pick up a game, right? You take it to the front,
and all the games are open.
Yeah, they take the case. They take the case. They go in the drawer. They put the case in, and they're like, "Here we go." You're like, "Oh, that's not a new game."
Yeah, no,
it's not.
It is new because nobody touched it. It was in the drawer the whole time. I'm like, dude, by your logic, if I bought a game shrink wrap in here, walk right outside your store, ripped off the shrink wrap, turned right back around and walked in and said, I want to return this game. You say, I can't, I have to put it in as used because it's already open.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell are you trying to sell me a new game with no shrink wrap on it?
And it's so funny too, because I had, before I stopped going there, like somebody had bought me like a game or whatever, and it was still wrapped. I was like, nah, you know what I mean? This isn't for me. So I was like, I was going to trade it in to GameStop, and they're like, I'm like, can I just trade this in or whatever? Like, it's never been opened or anything like that. And they're just like, no, you have to open the game to trade it in or whatever. I'm like, but it's brand new. Like, do I get any value for like it not being open? And they're like, no, it's like it's still used game, so you have to open it. I'm like, but it's brand new. Like that makes absolutely no sense.
Right.
So I just walked out. I'm like, no, not giving you my money. So
yeah.
There's situations like that where it's just like, no, I'm not supporting this anymore.
B Money Bella actually brings up a very, I'll say a good point. I don't think it applies to all games. Obviously, it doesn't apply to all games, but she says, in all fairness, though, if you buy a AAA game, beat it in 1 week, and then sell it back for $32, haven't you effectively been able to play a AAA game for only $28?
Yeah, but they also have a policy where you can buy their used games, beat them, and take them back a week, and you ain't got to pay nothing for them. So they got that stupid ass policy too.
Yeah, and it's the principle of letting them get over on you because, like we said, they're gonna put it right back on the shelf for $55.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean she makes an interesting point. It's a good point, but I mean, how frequently does that happen where you beat a game in a week?
Oh, not to mention the fact that you don't own it anymore. In order to get that lower price, you are accepting the fact that you surrender your ownership of the game.
This is true.
And me personally, that's something I won't do. Even if I didn't particularly enjoy a game, I'll keep anything I buy. So
yeah,
I'm the same way.
I've been telling people if they're gonna go, trading their games, pre-order games, go to Best Buy, do the Gamers Club Unlocked. That is the best deal in town.
Yeah, you get a much better value back on your return or your trade-in, I should say.
Yeah,
but B's right, man. I've watched moms and kids going in and just get taken advantage of, man. Like trading a system with a bunch of games, trying to get something else, and not have enough, not have enough to cover, and that's how they get you. It's like they lowball it, and then they make you pay more money to get the next thing that you want, and they know that they're preying on a kid's excitement.
Well, what about this? I mean, I've always had this argument with GameStop that they're in some ways maybe not necessarily good for game developers in the sense that, like, I've gone to GameStop and I bought a game maybe a week after it's released, and I pick up the new copy and they're like, oh, well, we have a used copy, it's cheaper. And I'm like, damn, like that's really like
why there's scumbags too on that level? Because if Best Buy has a game, for $14.99 that week, right? And you go over to GameStop, they do the match thing, or they'll say, they see it in the paper and they'll put the match in. They'll still try to sell you the used copy for like the overprice.
Yep.
Like you'll say, no, dude, I'm an informed consumer. I know what I'm doing here. But if someone didn't know, they would sell them the used one because that's going to be the regular price of their used game. So
they do that all the time, man. All the time. Even when they have their own sales, like the used game is still higher, and they'll still try to pawn the used game off on you. It's ridiculous.
Chicken Spaghetti in the live chat says, "I'll give you a $35 credit or $12.83 cash."
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of conversion?
It's so true, though, man.
Oh, that shit is so true. That shit is true. I've had that happen to me. Well, we can give you $35.
And now they run it like a pawn shop. Like they fingerprint and everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, what?
Shit, you can sell anything back at GameStop now. They're taking phones and shit and everything.
I'm like, so you have to fingerprint in case the law comes in to find somebody's stolen console. It's like, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Society.
I'm in tears right now. Oh my goodness. So
it's like, listen, you traded in an Xbox One that has 17 games, 3 controllers. That'll be $8. You know.
Yeah. Can I help you with your cheap shit, please? I remember, yeah, when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 launched, people going in pre-order, and people are just like, I mean, just bringing the. I mean, remember the last console generation was like 8 years long, so I mean, people were bringing like boxes full of games. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Just trading everything away. It was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, you know, I hope that the whole shortage rumor isn't true. For Nintendo,
it's not rumor at this point. Come on,
well,
we all know it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. But hey, at least a price point is attractive. Though. I heard $250. Looks like there's going to be two models, maybe $250 for the entry model, and then $299 for something I think with more storage or something to that effect. So
instead of 32 gigs, you get 64 gigabytes.
Probably something to that effect. I'll tell you what, though, at $250,
that's gonna be crazy.
All jokes aside, I think Nintendo's on to something here. I think this console's going to do very well.
Yeah, I think it will too, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
Microsoft has to step out and make some statements and show some things. I think Nintendo has a chance to really take off, man. And I was telling the guys at work, because we were talking about it, and I was saying, you know, if this really takes off and they kind of get that Wii momentum that they had, especially like in Japan and things like that, where they really, you know, capture that handheld market. Because if you look for a 3DS, man, them things are hard to find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, they're going to discontinue that. So this is the next best thing. And if they release it at $250 now, you already know there's going to be some crazy bundles during the holiday. So
yeah. Wait,
so you think for all intents and purposes that they stopped producing 3DS?
I think so. I mean, they're super hard to find. Like, I've been going everywhere trying to find like a 3DS.
Right.
Even like the new like XL ones, you can't find them.
And it's like all of a sudden, like boom, they're just like after Christmas, that was it.
After Christmas, you can't find them. Even when they drop that Black Friday like special one, like those ones are super hard to find. Like Amazon, MSL, like they're hard to find. So I think after this major announcement of the Switch, probably the first quarter they'll announce, or you know, early second quarter they'll announce 3DSs has been discontinued. You know what I mean? So
because Wii U's also, did they pull those?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so I've heard rumors that Zelda's actually gonna be a launch title now.
It's not rumor.
Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed that it is.
It is, okay, because I remember hearing that it wasn't going to be. Well, it was, and then it wasn't. So now it definitely is going to be a launch title.
It looks that way.
Shit.
And that's why I think they can. This is going to be like the first major Zelda game since they released on Wii.
Oh my god!
They didn't release a major Zelda game on Wii U. So
wait, they didn't? I mean, I didn't own one, to be fair. So I've been a little out of the loop, but
no, they didn't release one. They did 2 remasters. They did the Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time.
Wind Waker, yeah. God, Wind Waker was so good.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker.
I guess you're right. Yeah, they didn't. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are going to be hyped for it.
Yep.
I remember when Wind Waker came out. Oh, so good.
Yeah, great game, man.
Yeah, so good, so good. I hope Nintendo does well. I hope this console does well for them.
All they gotta do is use their IPs, man. They got so many IPs.
But the problem is, what are they going to release in between the IPs? That's always been the issue with them. More recently, that is.
I mean, they finally have taken off the reins of trying to only develop their IPs in house. So there's been some third party devs actually work on their IPs, and as long as they continue to do that, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because they have so many IPs, man. If they release like a dope Kid Icarus game, like I'd be all over that.
A Kid Icarus sequel or game is it's a long time coming. I haven't played Kid Icarus. Oh shit! Probably since the NES. Was that the last one that came out?
No, they did one for the 3DS.
Yeah, the one on 3DS wasn't bad. It was just it was too much like button mashing or whatever. But if they made one for for the Switch, that'd be dope. We already know Pokemon's coming, so people gonna go crazy over Pokemon. Pokemon is still like the highest selling game of last year.
They didn't make like 100 million in a week.
Pokemon outsold Call of Duty.
Yeah, so
Pokemon outsold Call of Duty.
Crazy.
Wow.
Welcome back.
Hey, Anchor,
Welcome back, Anchor. I was like, I know that voice.
Listen.
I was like, I know that voice, but
Pokemon outselling Call of Duty, man. Best selling game of this generation.
Oh man, the Pokemon's a juggernaut, man.
Hey, you know what, Anchor? I'm not gonna lie, man. I heard your voice. I'm like, shit. I've had too many fucking beers. I gotta stop. I was like, this is not good.
Hey, B, will we finally get a Metroid?
Yes,
Metroid is coming, man. If we don't see it this holiday, I guarantee we see it next year.
That's what's up.
I think we will finally see like Nintendo return to E3 in a real sense, and not this, that bullshit puppet shit that they put on every year, like claymation show. I think we actually see them return and actually show more than one game.
Hold on, B-Buddy, man. What's wrong? What's wrong with the puppet thing, man? I like that.
No, it was funny, man.
It's funny.
They need to hit the stage, man. They want people to take them serious.
Maybe until they gave us that Star Fox game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Kid Icarus would be phenomenal. There's some other franchise they haven't tapped into. They can really tap into.
Yeah, man. They got a whole stable of stuff they could just start pulling out the Santa bag, and as long as they put it out there, man, they be all right.
Man, they when they go Animal Crossing on that thing, that's another juggernaut franchise for them.
Nintendogs.
And Monster Hunter, when the new Monster Hunter drops, it's over. You know what I mean?
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I know we only saw like a little bit of the new Mario game that's coming out. Yeah, but I was hyped.
Well, did they show anything? Did they show anything? Any leaks?
No. They showed like a brief, like when they first announced the Nintendo Switch. There was like a maybe like 2 or 3 second like clip of Mario, and I just got hyped. I was like, whoa. So
the only Mario game right now I would love to see is Super Mario Sunshine 2. I love Super Mario Sunshine. It mixed up the gameplay just enough, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah, and if they do a GameCube, backwards compatibility and Virtual Console, that'll be great to have like another shot at Mario Sunshine.
That game, I love GameCube. GameCube's probably my favorite console.
There's so many GameCube games that we can't access. Yeah, I mean, same here. And there's so many games in that library that it's not easy to access without going and buying a GameCube or the Wii U that actually supported it.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God, dude! Not just that, like Melee. Do you know how much it costs to buy Super Smash Bros. Melee?
Yeah, if you actually own that disc, you have a pretty good item on your hands.
I'm so mad because we have a local used store, and I held on to that copy because I knew what was going to happen, and then I found out I got back from like freshman year of college, and my sister's mad, and she was like, I got like $10. Like I got $10
That's terrible.
The person that got it is over there dancing.
Watching it appreciate in value. You can buy it for $160.
Wow. like open.
Killing me, man.
Yep.
Wow.
And Nintendo just they just trademarked the Eternal Darkness
Yeah.
IP again. So I mean, if I'm telling you, man, if Nintendo does it right, they could be back on the map.
You know what, man? They could. You know what's funny? They could literally sneak up and just kind of just. I wouldn't say they wouldn't surprise us, but kind of just get back into the mix of things. You know.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. If they pull this Switch off right, and the big thing about pulling off the Switch is it doesn't have to have full third-party support. It just needs most of it. It needs those the major studios at least throwing something their way and real titles, not just like, oh yeah, well, we'll give you some small little project we're working on, like Bethesda throwing Battle Cry on it. No, don't throw Battle Cry on it. Give it the real games. Give it the games that you already have it. Like, it may not have to run the best, but it has access to those games, and they're at least the full titles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not like the Wii versions of any games. If they just did that, and they had that little bit of third party support, that gives people a reason enough to buy any game on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because for me, like as a Bethesda guy, if you go out there and they say, yeah, we got Fallout 4 on the Switch, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. I've played over 400, almost 500 hours of Fallout 4. I will buy it on the Switch and play it.
Oh shit!
They can go anywhere.
But can they put Fallout 4 on the Switch? I mean, is it powerful enough to run it?
You get Skyrim on there. I mean, same engine.
One thing that's definitely going to help is that every game has a portable mode. Only some games actually are going to, according to the dev specs I've looked at, only some games are going to have a docked mode. Mm-hmm. So by the fact that they're not pushing the visuals beyond 720p, because that's what the portable screen resolution is, that's going to save them a lot of bandwidth. And that should help effectively shrink most modern games down that would be developed for it.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, I know y'all saw that Fight Stick.
Wait, no.
I know y'all saw that Switch Fight Stick.
Oh no, I'm about to look it up now.
They actually have a Fight Stick. It's a third-party Fight Stick. So you already know they putting actual fighting games on there. They ain't making no Fight Stick for Smash Bros.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
I just looked
I
it
love
up.
Smash Bros. I won so much free pizza from Smash Bros. we used to do Smash Bros tournaments in college, and I remember we did it like sophomore year, but it was mainly junior year. I had to break out my old Wavebird, and
oh yeah,
I love that. I love the controller. It's broken as hell. I still can look at it. All my memories in there. And that was when wireless was like fresh and new. Like, wow, that was cool. Like, I remember the thing with what we used to do is we used to have these tournaments, and we have like maybe guys like it was all of our dorm, and we would do the whole dorm building would meet up, and we would do like tryouts in the top 25 would go in, and then we do and then we'd actually do tournaments. And we'd go through the list, and we would choose characters. Like you'd have like your main and your alternate. And so for me, I always did my main. I always had Kirby as my main, but I always picked my alternate as Ganondorf. And we were playing at the time. We were playing what's the other one? The third Smash Bros. It's Brawl. We were playing Brawl at the time. Whenever in the meta, Ganondorf was the worst character, and I was really good with Ganondorf, really good. And I play, and you'd win, and you got okay, yeah, you get pizza party for your floor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Great, and we would do that maybe once or twice a semester. It was great, and then we would have campus-wide competitions. I got like a second time I did that.
Yes.
Damn Meta Knight.
You know what's awesome is that we're talking about this
right. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Oh yeah.
Shit, I'm just happy with Zelda. Yeah. You know?
And yeah, and even go ahead. Sorry, we're here.
I say that Zelda game looked amazing. I know B Money, you guys got to see it at E3. I mean, we all joke around about Nintendo, and but I remember you guys saying that that was like the longest line of any game. I think at E3, right?
Oh,
you
dude,
couldn't even get in there, man.
yeah, you couldn't get in there. Like you had to basically commit. Like when you walked on the show floor, you had to get in line for that. I met people who were waiting in line for like 4 hours just to get in the room.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That if you were at E3, you might as well commit an entire day to just waiting in that line because you weren't going to do anything else.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Wow.
And that was just to like watch the game, not even like play it.
No, that was to play. Well, there
No,
was a line to watch it, and that was like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But,
Good
you could get in
grief.
the room. Like they weren't allowing. Like I asked, like, can I just walk through here just to see what's going on? Like just to get a picture. He's like, no.
Oh man.
They shut that shit down quick. Yeah, South saying it was an all day line. He said the same thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Yeah, but nobody
awesome?
cares about Nintendo, man.
People do, man. People got to stop front like they don't care about Nintendo. People do. Yeah, and I think it's actually really cool that we're talking about Nintendo because I haven't been this hyped for Nintendo console since the GameCube. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, don't sleep on like games like Splatoon either, man. That game was fun.
Oh man, that's a fun
Splatoon
game
is
too.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine you can, if you can, take it on the go and still,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the supposed leak list of all the games coming out?
Yeah. I saw
yeah.
Chicken posted that the other day.
Yeah, it was
Actually,
they had Splatoon was coming to the Switch, and Mario Kart 8, and what else was there? There was I'm trying to do off memory. Other than this, like it was Zelda, we knew about Zelda. They had NBA 2K17, and what else was there? Then there was like Skyrim, and there was another one on there. Oh, what was it? I didn't recognize it. The title, I didn't know what it was. So it looks like there might be a new game coming. What was it? I gotta find it again. That was a couple days ago, though.
Well, apparently a lot of the games are going to be using the Unreal Engine, from what I understand.
Yeah. How many new games do you think they actually announced tomorrow?
One.
Because they can't actually like
New game.
play all the old shit on the new shit.
4.
4 new games. Yeah. I can see
I think it's reasonable for launch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see 4.
Shit, I'm happy if they just talk about Zelda. To be honest with you, if they show, hey, here's Zelda, here's what's coming out in launch, this is what you can expect. I mean, I'm done. I'm there. I'm so hyped. You know what's really cool for me though is that I have a 7-year-old, and he's starting to get into gaming now. And right about the time the Nintendo Entertainment System came out, I was a couple years older than him at that time. I think this is like 1986 or 87. I think when I got the Nintendo Entertainment System, so I was probably like 9 or 10. And it's cool now because he's excited. Like I've shown him Zelda. He's played some of the classic Nintendo games. Knows who Mario is, knows Zelda. And he's like, and I'm telling you, to see the excitement in his face. Like when I told him, I was like, okay, we can't get the NES Classic, right? Like that's not going to happen.
What?
But I should.
They have the most recognizable IP, man. I mean, my daughter's 2 years old and she knows Mario already.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys, we have another special guest. Southbound, what's up, man?
Come on, special. Ain't nothing special about me. I'm just a regular nobody.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody in YouTube land?
How you doing, Sal?
Chilling.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, man. All right.
Yeah, we're doing good, man. We're talking about Nintendo. So, South.
No. Come on. I'm on Xbox. All you fucking house neutral motherfuckers. What the hell? God damn. Come on, let's get this fucking console war bowling. Nah, I don't fuck that console shit.
So you're not going to go out and pre-order, man?
Why? Man, I gotta save all my money for Scorpio, bro.
Come on, South, man. You can get a Nintendo Switch, man. Wait, South. Have you
poor.
owned a Nintendo console before?
You know what? I had of course, the NES and the Super Nintendo. I never had GameCube or anything above that.
So just NES?
Yeah. Just the classics, baby. Just the classics.
Mm.
I feel like
bike.
I feel like the NES. Everyone, at least from what I remember, the NES was the one console you can go to anyone's house and there was an NES. It was like
Right.
It was like liquor in the liquor cabinet. You know,
Everybody knew the right tubes to skip the levels in Mario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. That Contra code. And put it like this, man. Nintendo was such a household thing that it didn't matter what console you had, your parents would be like, "You ended up playing that Nintendo?"
Yeah, it's like, man, it's 1992, man. I'm on that Sega shit.
Yeah.
You're talking about Nintendo.
Oh, he's back there on that Nintendo. I'm like, no, I'm playing my Xbox, but okay.
You know? It wasn't even playing video games. It wasn't like, oh, you play video games? No, you play Nintendo.
Nah, but the thing is, they didn't even say Nintendo. They said Nintendo.
Nintendo,
There was no N on the beginning. It was Nintendo. I was like, no Nintendo, my friend.
It's so true, man.
Oh man, sounds I can relate, man. That's also my mom. That's how she used to say it.
It's like, Karmate. What the shit?
Yeah, my mom would say the same thing. Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm in tears right now. But yeah, it's true. You could have a Sega Master System and people would call that shit a Nintendo.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Like, this is the wrong fucking controller. Look, it's not square.
Yeah. People would see Sonic. Oh, is that Mario? What?
Yep.
It's like, man, don't make me bust out the cartoons on your ass.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
Bust out that Captain In.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, I'm in tears right now. Yeah, but it's cool though. It's cool that we're talking about Nintendo though. I'm hyped for tomorrow. I'm really.
You know
hyped.
what? A lot of people are, like, real talk. A lot
Yeah.
of people are excited what Nintendo could bring to the table. You know, a lot of people are, talking about the price and, how much they should come out with. You're hearing $250, $299. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think what price do you think it should come out on?
$250. It's
Yeah,
already been
$250.
leaked.
250. You can't argue against 250.
No.
Well, I mean, obviously it's
No.
old tech. It's not, they're not pushing 4K or anything like that. So 250 seems reasonable.
I'm telling you, this thing. I'm telling you guys, this thing is going to be the hottest selling console. I'm calling it right now. I mean, it's not going to catch up to PlayStation or
Well, I mean,
Or
the
Xbox,
big problem with that is assuming there are copies to sell. It very well could be the best-selling console.
That's true.
Well, then, I mean, again, we have like a major opinion on that because we kind of know what they're pulling. But the casual market, they just get into the frenzy of it.
Oh, of course.
It's got to be like if you imply ownership on someone, they have to get it. It's like even if you sell on eBay, the best thing you can do is get someone attached to the product that you're selling, where they feel like it's mine, and they just keep bidding on it. It's the same thing. It's like if someone really wants it, it becomes that frenzy. Like I gotta have it. And that can carry momentum. Maybe that's why they keep doing it. We know they're full of shit for doing it, but hey.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It's not a good practice. I mean, it could work. I think it could work in their favor, or it could be one of those things that backfires. But I think in this case, it's probably going to work. I mean, because
I think, and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but they're talking about all these shortages and shit. You've seen what the classic little, remix of the NES.
Mhm.
They're gonna scare up demand for the console.
Yep.
If people feel like they're not gonna be able to get it, then it's gonna cause a frenzy, and it's gonna be another Elmo all over again.
Yeah, I was just about to say it'll be Tickle Me Elmo.
I'm telling you, next holiday, Black Friday, we're going to see news stories of people getting jumped in parking lots for a Nintendo Switch.
Damn.
Well,
Hey, homie, you got that Switch on you? Baby.
I would think by Black Friday the demand would have caught up by that point. But you can see that Black Friday. Yeah, you can see that nature over the next few months.
Do you not remember what happened with the Wii? Man, they on purpose drug that out for years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it could be going on through Black Friday.
But it will be some crazy competition this Black Friday, though, man.
Yeah. And no matter where you stand on it, like whether you're interested in it or not, it is good just to see people excited for like new hardware, new stuff, because at the heart of it, we're gamers. So whether you want to pick one up or not, it is cool to have like that excitement in the air of, something being announced, just even if you're just curious.
I tell you what.
You know what? My biggest reservation on it. Obviously, I'm not planning to buy one, so this is me being just a hater or whatever. But I'd be afraid to break the damn thing.
Honestly, though, I totally understand that. I broke like 3 PlayStation 3 controllers. I'm not even kidding. Back then,
what happened? I mean, they better like test that, for dropping it, that screen and everything. Because I just cracked my phone the other day, and I'm like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Imagine if it was a console, I'd be pissed.
Oh shit! Yeah. You know what's
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is that I think about that with my 7-year-old. Like, I'm like,
are you gonna be able to get like insurance on it or something? Like what?
Oh, I'm getting that at Best Buy. Yeah, if I get the console at Best Buy, I'm getting the insurance.
Yeah, Best Buy insurance is good.
I think it'll be somewhere in between 3DS and PS Vita as far as its build quality. And Nintendo's they're pretty good at building, durability. Even with that screen on it, I'm pretty sure it won't be like full on glass.
I just never liked their hinges on anything, but this one doesn't have hinges, so
right.
Yeah, it doesn't have.
Yeah. See, that's where the 2DS came in, because kids were snapping the 3DS in half.
Well, and then like that's, I just have a bunch of questions, like how easy will it slide in? Is it gonna be a pain in the ass?
That's what she said.
What if it's dark or something? Well, yeah, you got a little spit on it a little bit, but but you know what I mean. If it's dark, like what happens if you misguide it when you slide it in? Like, hey, you guys are nasty motherfuckers. Real shit.
Goes in the wrong hole. That's what happens.
Salute.
Salute.
That ain't it.
Yeah, it's all right for me.
Sounded like what you said. Oh my goodness! I feel like Chicken Spaghetti is like a wealth of information. He's saying that he just dropped in the live chat. Let's see here. He said Walmart has a placeholder for $400, Best Buy $250, Target $300. So interesting. So Walmart's got a placeholder for $400. Yeah. But maybe the Walmart one is $400. It's like a bundle or something like that.
Yeah, it probably has like multiple.
Walmart are trying to bundle up some shit, man.
For real.
That's like Sam's Club or Costco or something. They always got some kind of bundles.
Yeah, that's true. They do.
Walmart's like a Switch, an extra controller, 2 boxes of cornflakes.
Hell yeah, and a T-shirt with your name on it with a Switch.
Yeah.
And some house slippers.
A bar of soap.
And a coffee mug.
Hey, you can't have some coffee mugs.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with coffee mugs, man. I actually like collecting coffee mugs.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a little what's funny? I'm concerned if I get this thing, I'm not gonna have enough time. I'm gonna be fighting my 7-year-old. I'm gonna ground his ass a lot.
for no reason.
Yeah.
He's like, don't fucking look at me like that. He's like, yeah, go to your room.
Why you walk in the room so fast?
Yeah.
You're walking too heavy, goddammit. I'm about to beat your ass. You're on fucking restrictions.
Why you get a drink of water? You're grounded.
Yeah. You drinking too loud out of that sippy cup.
You left the toilet seat up. You're fucking grounded for 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god, I'm in tears. Oh, hey, real quick, guys.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just a fool. You know what I mean? I come in here and I had to fuck up the whole program.
I talk good, South. You know what, South, we haven't had you on the podcast in a long time, but I just want to say
something.
While. I just want to say something, South. Probably the funniest podcast is the one with you
when you dropped out.
Yes, with you and Worry Word.
Hey, Worry's my man, dude. If he's not on, as active as he used to be, man, I miss him sometimes. I'm like, I'll hit him up, like, where the hell you been, man? I miss you. Because with all this bullshit, going on Twitter and everything, like, I honestly, I look at it and I roll my eyes and I just close it out. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah,
Worry about that balance, man. He definitely, kept the ship right. So
yeah, definitely,
man.
Yeah. I miss having him on. It's funny because that podcast, he probably did one of the best introductions. You remember he did Vlad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny podcast.
That was classic. It definitely was.
Yeah, and then it's funny because
And, you know, honestly, half the time I couldn't even figure out what I was gonna say because I was laughing so hard at myself. And you know, and I probably was stuttering a lot because I was like, you know, because it was funnier and shit.
oh my god, it was hilarious. And when you guys when I dropped out,
we're like, well, it looks like he's not coming back. All right, fuck it, it's our show now.
That was so funny, man.
Yeah, you know that's crazy. That podcast happened a year ago, man.
Yeah,
crazy. Hey, real quick before we wrap up tonight. So you know, this month and the next couple months is kind of a busy time in terms of games. Who's picking up Gravity Rush 2? I think we talked about that earlier. Gravity Rush 2, but Silent Hill, not Silent Hill. Why did I say Silent Hill?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, who's picking up Resident Evil 7?
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
Yeah,
won.
I'll get it.
Well, I may be doing a review. Maybe. We'll see.
Nice. Yeah, I still, you know, I didn't play the demo yet for Resident Evil 7, but I'm definitely picking it up.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check out the demo myself because being out here in the fucking sticks, my internet is so slow. It takes like 3 years just to download something. So yeah, I got to pick and choose wisely.
Wait, do you have your Xbox out there?
You know what? I didn't bring it, but I bought a new one.
Oh, nice.
that's dedication right there, man.
Yo, you're dedicated to the cause, man. I hear that.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? Even Phil was like, "Why did you buy another Xbox? You don't need another Xbox."
If Phil
He's
knew
like,
where
"Why did
you
you
were
buy a
at,
used one or something?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. It came with the gears. Shit, I don't know."
I hear that, man. I hear that. Yeah, it's South, man. The weather's got to be cold out there, man. Where you're at?
Hey, man, it actually it kind of warmed up, but last week, oh shit, I was chilled to my bones.
I know last week was brutal here too, so I'm sure it's even worse over there. Yeah,
I think it's about the same. It's pretty close because I think like Sunday night it got down to 0 or something. I was like, oh, I'm not built for this shit.
yeah.
I'm an LA cat. You know what I mean? Like 40 degrees, and we're like, you know, we're bundled up in parkas.
Mm-hmm. Same with us in Florida.
Yeah. So
They'll have the snow.
Yeah.
Fastback, I'm actually in the south. I'm below the Mason-Dixon.
well, you know what? It's funny, man. It's funny you say that because we don't consider where you're at the South. At least here.
Yeah, I
do.
know. I never did either, but technically, the Mason-Dixon is the southern line,
It is,
and that's actually the Maryland border right there in West Virginia.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, South. We got, dude.
For
how
you
long-
geography fucking dumbasses.
South, how long you there for, man?
I've been here for almost a month. Time's winding down though. I'm heading home here in about a week and a half. So,
Dude, man, let's meet up and go to those casinos, man. They got good casinos.
I
over
told you I'm only like what 5 hours away from you. I'm
there. Yeah, you're about 5 hours. Yeah.
Hey, if you're buying the beer, I'll drive. Fuck it.
All right, let's do it, man. It sounds like a plan.
We'll have to get together. You know, this weekend or next weekend or so.
Yeah, maybe we do a Brat podcast, the casino with Southbound and me.
Oh shit! Live and direct right here.
Oh my god!
I don't know. A drunk podcast gambling.
That would
Might be bad news.
That might make for some news.
Like, oh shit, Sal's doing a podcast and got arrested. Fucking trollmaker. Like, what happened, Enrique? I don't know, man. He just starts socking people. Fucking LA guys.
He just went nuts, started hitting people. Someone said something bad about the Xbox. Knock him out.
That's right. What you say about Phil, motherfucker?
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. But South, man, thanks for joining us late, man. I appreciate it, man. It's always good to have you on, man.
You know, it's all love. We all family.
Yeah. But we'll have to get you back on again soon. And Anchor,
most definitely.
Thanks for joining us tonight and popping out and popping back in again.
Yeah, it didn't take as long as I thought it had to.
No, no worries, man.
Everyone tells you it's an emergency. I'm like, all right, what's the deal?
It's like, we're out of milk.
Yeah, exactly. We're out of
Do I work in a grocery store anymore?
He was like, "You better change the toilet paper, fool."
We're out of that almond shit or whatever you were talking about earlier.
Almond milk. Almond milk.
Oh my goodness! And hey, big shout out to Cal who hopped in for a few minutes too. We had a little bit of a tick takeover for a few minutes, so big shout out to him, and shout out to John who couldn't make it tonight. He's having computer problems, but we'll be back on again next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hey, remember, give us a like, subscribe, show us some love, and
hit that fucking like button. Don't be fucking cheese. Come on.
Yes, hit the fucking like button, please.
That's right.
And
subscribe, motherfuckers.
And as always, thank you to my panel, Eric's, B Money, and Sam. Always
That's cool, but he didn't even remember your guys' names. She's like, B Money. Oh yeah, okay, that's yeah.
I think I forgot to introduce one of them one week.
Yeah,
You're
slipping.
It happens, man. You have a couple cold ones, it happens. But hey,
lightweights.
Yeah, you can't imagine me doing a podcast loaded. Foo-wee.
That actually might be fun.
Nobody would like me no more.
That might be fun. You should do it on TXR.
Oh, boy.
They don't even like me as it is, so I can't do that.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to everyone in the live chat too. Chicken Spaghetti, Fastback, All Star Gamer, Nels Coney, Jabril, Bella. Am I missing anyone?
Bella.
Yeah, the chat was mad active, man. So shout out to everybody out there, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thank you again, guys. Real Joel. I can't pronounce his last name.
Switch gang out there.
What's that?
All the Switch gang out there.
Switch gang. Switch gang.
Shout out to Kobe on his Switch game.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Right?
I was dying.
Yeah, that was good stuff, man.
Yeah, so hey, we'll catch you guys next week. Remember, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the guys at the Inner Circle podcast. Hey, you guys want to plug your stuff real quick?
Are we going live tomorrow?
I believe so.
Yeah. So come check us out tomorrow, man. We are definitely getting back to what we do, and on Thursdays we're doing it at 11 p.m. Correct?
Yep, 11 p.m.
All right,
so work it out.
All right,
tickets back in the building, man. 11 p.m. Thursdays nights. Come check us out.
All right, cool. Sounds good. And South, man, you want to plug TXR, man?
Well, I guess if I have to, Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, TXR podcast. Me and my guys, we do our thing. Try to keep it, civil, positive as always. But we always get the haters, and it is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. So
can't get rid of haters, man. Like,
hey, you know what? I appreciate the haters, because that means people are listening. People are paying attention.
That's true.
So hey, keep my name in your mouth as long as you're keeping the views on our channel. That's all I care about.
That's what I told Enrique. I said, what they say in Straight Outta Compton when they were rolling over all the CDs, and Easy is like, they can do whatever they want with them. They pay for them motherfuckers.
Because Drake only meant Easy's payday.
So same concept, man.
That's true, man.
That's right. So keep it on. We love you all.
Yeah, and definitely, Sam and Eric are part of Real Game Media, so definitely check out RGM. And again, we'll catch you guys next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.